So we're going to start by adding a contest. Okay, so I'm going to type in the name of my contest, click Add Contest, and be automatically directed to the contest settings. At the top, we're going to define whether it's an active or closed contest. You can change this later when you are ready to close the contest. And then, is it a paid or free contest? If it's paid, make sure you have your PayPal credentials set up in the general settings. Next, you set whether you're an elimination or the voting round. So once your contestants have submitted their, in this case, photographs, the judges will either go into elimination round or the voting round. In the elimination round, they're basically saying this photo is in or out. Down below here, you can set the threshold that will make the photo or whatever entry has been submitted out. In this case, if there are more or equal to 2 no votes, then the photograph will not be considered in the voting round. Now down here in contestant settings, you will define whether any logged in user can submit an entry or if only contestants can. You can also define the max number of entries per user. So here basically we're saying that every contestant can only upload 10 photographs. We also have defined here the upload option. So in this contest, we're going to use files, but you can also set, it can also be a link or a file or a link. Links are great if your contestants are going to be submitting really large files, so they can host it somewhere else and link to it. Or for instance, if you have a video contest, or let's say a website design contest, so that way they can link to their entry. You can define the file types allowed here. Just throw in PDF there just to give an example. And you also define the cost per entry. So because we have a paid contest, this is how much you define what you're going to charge per entry. And then finally, you can set a maximum number of entries. So once you hit 1,000, the next people that try to submit won't be able to. It'll say that the contest is closed. So our submission and entry settings. This pertains to the fields that the contestant sees when they're submitting their entry. So what is the title of their entry? You can say name instead. Category, you can say type. The actual categories themselves, say black and white, landscape, for example. Contestants also can write a description for their entries, and so you can change the label here too. If it is a file upload, you're also going to want to explain what the limit is, so you can change the language here too. By default, its max upload size is 2 megs. You can also define a terms and conditions page. At this point, you're going to want to save your settings, and that saves everything that we just worked on. Next, we're going to define the voting round criteria. So you can add as many criteria as you like. Oops, that's on. You can also change the labels for each of these groupings of votes. And then again, save your criteria here. Also, when your contestants are submitting their entries, you can add extra fields. So say you need more than just title, category, etc. You can also add fields like text, like subjects. So who is in the photo, and you can require it if you need to. Your options here are text, number, drop down, radio, button, or checkbox. And then finally, when you and we're going to get into this in a future video, but when you're ready, when your winners have been selected, you can notify them all from this page. So you can enter a subject and a message, and it'll send an email automatically to all your users that have been marked as winners.